So it's story time with your man Charles. Yes, welcome once more to this journey of coding. Yeah, and we on a storytelling trail, if you like, and we are trying to um, show the power of Scratch, which is a visual programming language we could use to teach the principles of coding. We're trying to show the power of Scratch in creating stories. All right, storytelling is a very fundamental skill that everyone should learn. All right, so with Scratch we could tell amazing stories. All right, and change the sceneries, animate our sprites, and make them, have awesome conversations. I mean, that's a story, right? That's a cool story. Now, we added a couple of costumes for Avery. If you've not been following the videos, please go watch the previous ones on story time, and you would see them with appropriate titles that show which videos are on storytelling. Now, we added two costumes for Avery. If you take a look at Avery's costume um, collection, we added Avery standing and then Avery raising her hands. Now, there's a small challenge we'll have here. Now, you remember Avery is walking um, in uh, one of her in two aspects of her code. We see her walking here, and we see her walking to the middle of the stage where she is right here. Now, if we do not do anything about it, the challenge is whenever we ask for next costume, it's definitely going to bring up Avery standing and raising her hands, and we don't want that. Avery is walking in these two scenarios. We don't want her raising her hands, we don't want her standing. Alright, now for us to control what happens when we have to make that choice, we would need an if statement. We would need a selection statement. Alright, so our if statement is going to control this costume. The next costume is going to keep checking, okay, if it's Avery standing or Avery raising her hands, please go on to the next costume so we can keep walking. Alright, and avoid Avery raising her hand or standing. That would make our story, well, lose a bit of credibility. Alright, so how do we go about that? We're going to put an if statement right here and here. Alright, and then we'll see how it all plays out. Okay, so I'm going for the control now, and I have my if then else. Okay, yes, if then else, and my operator is very coming in handy, and you drop it in that groove. Okay, now what's the operator going to be checking for us? We are going to be checking if Avery's costume is Avery A or Avery B. Okay, so we're going to use the costume number. Okay, we could use the costume name. Alright, okay, let's use the costume name for a change. Okay, I know we're talking about strings now, but let's use the costume name for a change. Okay, so let's take a look at the costume name one more time. Avery A. Okay, this is Avery B, and this is Avery A. Okay, alright, so let's go back to the code and say, alright, so if costume name is equal to average dash a, we should skip to the next costume. Alright, we got it. Okay, so we're going to skip to the next costume. Next costume, where are you? Alright, okay, else just go to the next costume. Okay, alright, so you might not notice the effect of this code until we test it. Yes, and we're going to test it very soon. Okay, now for the sake of the second one, I'm just going to duplicate it. Okay, so we save ourselves the time, but before I duplicate it, I'm going to take out this one, the next costume thingy. Okay, so let's just trash it. We have another of the weights right there, so I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to put it right after the change x by 5. Okay, so let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Alright, so alright, you know what we're going to do? We are going to use costume number. Okay, let's use costume number. It doesn't seem to be working. Alright, I'm going to use costume number now. Okay, instead of costume name. Okay, so maybe, okay, so I think I'm getting the drift here. So the thing is, I need to check for both costumes, average A or average B. Okay, now let's go to our operators and we see we have an OR operator somewhere. Okay, so we're going to build our OR operator now. So if it's average A or average B. Okay, so average A or average B. So I'm going to change this A to I'm going to change it to B. Alright, so let's see how that plays out. Okay, alright, now I'm going to duplicate this, okay, and put it in the second one. Alright, now let's see. Okay, so I guess we have to stick. Oh, wait a minute. Alright, so our code. Okay, so let's try and sort things out. Okay, let's sort things out. Average A or average B. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I think we're going to stick to number. Yeah, I think we should. Okay, let's go back to name. Okay, let's go back to name. Alright, so we're going to sort this out. I'm pretty sure we will sort it out and fix it. This is all about coding, alright? See you in